Hey guys, you've joined us live at Money Control. I'm Manisha Gupta, and in focus today is palm oil prices, which for the year actually have seen a decline of nearly 10%. But in the recent few days, we've seen prices gain up a bit, and there are concerns about El Nino and concerns that going forward, you could be looking at a lower crop from the major producing countries, and that could take the prices higher. Important to note because palm is used by various sectors across board, and India is a major importer as well. Let's put on more focus onto that. Joining us for that is Nino Desai. He's managing partner at GGN Research. Nirav, hi, always a pleasure to have you. And I want to start first with what Indonesia has done in sense of cutting the duty and levy. What does it do for Indonesia in sense of exports, and what does it mean for India?
So basically, the duty reduced by $25 for second half of December has given an opportunity for India to buy palm oil at a reasonable price. We saw in the last week that the market, or before last week, the market was on continuous rally. Mid of last week, we saw a little bit of trimming down. Overall, the fundamentals going forward for JFM period is very evidently supportive for palm production is going to go down. Prices are going to be slightly supportive. The stocks are going to draw down. Today in the MPOB report, we saw the stocks have already started showing a reduction. 1% stock was down. So overall, the palm scenario is such that it's poised to be slowly and steadily going up for JFM period. With this duty cut, India again got the opportunity to buy palm oil at a reasonable price. The current BMD, which is trading today around 3750 third month, I think more or less 3650, 3700 is the range where India has been picking up here and there a little bit of palm oil. People are expecting slowly and steadily the palm to move to 3900, 4000 ringgits in the JFM period. The carry is already there. We can see that. And neither do we expect a big fall off below 3650, 3700. So I think it's a very range bound to slightly supportive market on the palm side. So any dips is a good buy. Also for importers, after seeing a big brunt last year, a carry structure of a market is good because they buy oil, and if they feel that they need to hedge, they have a carry structure to hedge on the BMD.
Nirav, talk to us also about the Indian import quantity, that is. You talked to us about the prices that India has been importing at. We've seen some months with record numbers as well. November has been fine. December has been okay as well. And winters, we do know that there's a bit of a decline that we saw in palm imports. But going forward, what is an average that you see for the Jan, Feb, March period when it comes to monthly imports?
See, I think palm is one thing which has a core demand in India of about 4 to 4.5 lakh tons at least. That is when the prices are very, very high. But with the current prices, the Indian imports generally don't fall below 6.5 lakh tons. And on an average basis, I think give and take 50,000 here and there, a 7 lakh tons of import each for JFM period is what we can see. Maybe Jan, because of winter months, might be an underperformer, but then Feb March will again see a rise because with summer setting in late March, early April, India starts importing by mid of February to start for summer accumulations.
Nirav, I was reading a very interesting World Bank report which says that every year we see around 2.5 million tons of an average growth in production when it comes to palm. But for the season 23-24, they have put out an average 0.2 million tons. I mean, do you also feel that the production can decline by that much?
See, overall, we've been very complacent as an importer because Indonesia for the last few years has been doing the job of increasing year on year the palm oil production. Malaysia had already stagnated 4-5 years back. The newer countries that were coming in like Papua New Guinea and the other origins have also done their bit of increasing the palm oil production year on year. But frankly, the growth rate has already started tapering down. And with the El Nino year, I will not be surprised if the growth will be less. Though 0.2 million is a sharp decline in the growth. So I would just say that, yes, the growth will not be as usual years, and palm is not going to be as easy as the last year. So palm is going to be an underlying supporter throughout the next year, especially for the JFM and the AMJ period.
Talk to us also about the per capita consumption within the Indian markets, and most people that I speak to in industry say that it is still lower and there is a lot of scope on the higher side. So when you look at the next 1, 3 or 5 years, what's your sense on the kind of demand growth that India can see?
See, basically, India last year again grew with a very good growth rate of about including the population growth and the biodiesel growth that we had, about 9 to 10% growth was there in the consumption. This year we are expecting about 3%. So even after a 10%, a 3% growth rate is a high number. Very important to see last year and the current year is that we are expecting a not seen situation in India where the biodiesel, which was long expected by the international market that India will get into biodiesel production. Last year, we saw that. We're estimating as GGN about 6 lakh tons of palm oil and the other oils that have gone into production of biodiesel. This year, we are expecting it to be 12 lakh tons consumption. So overall, the edible consumption is growing. India is the economy in the world that everybody throughout the world is looking at. The growing economy is the fastest growing economy, constant rate. So all the edible oil consumption or the edible consumption is there. But there is this new factor that is added to the Indian ecosystem from last year, and that is biodiesel, and it is giving a big number. So overall, yes, India's consumption growth rate is going to be maintained. And we are on a growth rate. Still, we've not stagnated in the consumption of edible oils. And there is potential with the country, the states, and the part of the population which is still consuming less.
All right, so strong year coming ahead in case of palm oil there. Nirav, thank you so much for joining us. So higher prices, higher demand growth is what you can expect, especially when it comes to palm oil.